And now here to shed more light on the issue is Gary Tabach, former Chief of Staff, NATO Military Liaison Mission in Moscow. Hello, sir, and welcome to TVP World.
Oh, hello. Very good to be on the TVP World. I know it's a busy time.
All right, so we are looking once again on the topic of the Russian-Ukraine war, and a lot of publications have been speculating what's going to happen going forward. Let's just address the elephant in the room first, because after what happens to be an assassination attempt of U.S. President Donald Trump, and the discussion of whether or not Trump will be good for NATO, be good for Ukraine, is once again on the top of the discussion. Can you help us break that down a little bit?
Sure, I'll be happy to. If you see, the thing is, everybody's concentrating what will be when if Trump becomes a president, what kind of plan he has. But nobody really asking present president what kind of plan he has, what kind of, and everybody's saying if Trump. But the idea is, Trump is not God, nor Trump in the United States can do whatever he wants to do or create dictatorship. The thing is, it also depends which state our world is going to be at the time if Trump becomes a president of the United States and his newly selected vice president J.D. Vance. So will Ukraine sign a peace agreement with Russia or ceasefire agreement with Russia, or will it continue to fight? Who knows what's going to be in 6 months? Will China attack Taiwan? So now trying to predict what's going to happen if Trump becomes a president, is extremely difficult. And I don't think anybody can give an answer. People can speculate, which I think is not right. I think that people can sell you future news, which of course that gets lots of views because people can predict future. So a lot of those depends on what kind of situation the world is going to be at that time, what kind of treatment Trump is going to receive from other partners, including NATO partners. It is very difficult to predict. What we can discuss and base an intelligent judgment or intelligent assessment is on what happened in the past. Because if we know what happened in the past, contrary to what a lot of people say, Trump strengthened NATO. By forcing them to everybody to pay their share, not only the United States and Poland and Baltic states, but everybody else from all Europe have to pay their share into NATO, make sure that their tanks are rolling, their guns are shooting, the airplanes are flying. Otherwise, if you don't pay the insurance company, it's not going to keep giving you insurance or continue to be in a golf club if you're not paying your dues. So these things kind of rumors and again, while Trump was a president, it's not like 2016 when he was an unknown entity and everybody was saying, oh, he's going to be dictator, he's going to be Hitler, he's going to be this and that. During his reign, there was no wars. A lot of wars were ending. Oil prices were low, so our enemies, Russia, Venezuela, and Iran, were being on the brink of a bankruptcy. So the thing is, it pretty much was peaceful in conflict. He didn't put anybody in jail. He didn't shut down any kind of channels. He didn't prosecute any reporters that were spreading lies about him. So he didn't show any kind of dictatorial threats. And yesterday, the last case against him with the classified documents was also dismissed. So all the legal problems that he had have been dismissed, have been put out as fakes. The Supreme Court said that there was no attack on Capitol. There was no trying to overthrow the United States government and Congress during the time, that Trump did not instigate or provoked that kind of. There was a peaceful protest which is guaranteed by the United States Constitution. So all we can do is assess and hope that if he's going to come back as a president of the United States, he's going to come back as a strong leader who's going to deal with the tyrants of this world in a tough way and show a true leadership as inside of the country as it is outside of the country. Many people blame him being an isolationist. But the idea is what he's saying, and his vice president is saying, first we have to take care of the United States. First we have to put the United States in order. So there are no assassinations. So there are no killings. So there are controlled borders. First we have to put in our economy strong, and then we can take care of our friends around the world. If we fall apart, or if we're not incapable, we can't help our friends. So that's all I can say at this point in short, and not to waste too much time.
All right, you mentioned something very crucial that like you said, a lot of people are trying to speculate what is going to happen in the future, but not a lot of attention is being paid about, well, what about now? Because there's still a lot of things that can develop between now and, November, and even once whoever takes presidential office. So let's actually hone in on that, because we are also seeing that European partners, NATO leaders have come together and try to boost production domestically, or at least within the European Union. Do you think that is going to be something that can help Ukraine going forward?
Well, absolutely. The stronger, the wars are not won today by sheer force or military strength. That is silly to believe that. Today, we're much stronger than Afghanistan, for say, or Taliban, and yet we lost to them, or we were much stronger than Vietnam. So forth, many examples like that. The wars are won by a combination of things: political, informational wars that we tend to lose, and of course, very, very important, economical wars. So if the economy of your country is strong, then your military is strong, then your politics in the world is strong. But as President Reagan once said, it's the economy, stupid, saying that the economy, and without economy, as they used to say, that during communism there will be no need for money, but to build communism we need the money. So capitalism is still here, and it is very important, because without it, without the economy, it cannot be done.
And there's also speculation about whether or not Ukraine and Russia can finally be on a negotiation table and reach any sort of compromise. Now, a lot of people are also saying that it's very less likely due to the fact that no party is willing to make any sort of compromise. Do you think that things might change in the next year going forward?
Well, I hope so, because it cannot continue the way it is, and that is where I personally and my friends and my community is concerned, that our President of the United States has no plan. He has not announced, nor anybody in the U.S. administration, that they pronounce the word victory, or Ukrainian beating Russians or pushing them out of their land. They're using words like independence and freedom and things like this, but no victory, no beating Russians into losing the war. So hopefully there will be an end to this war. All wars end at some point. Of course, the constitution of Ukraine will have to change if they're going to come to some sort of agreement or some sort of a negotiations, because today in the Ukrainian constitution it says they cannot negotiate with the Russians or with Putin. Be more precise, while there is still Putin in power, there will be no negotiations, so Ukrainians will continue to fight according to their constitution. So either they continue and fight, or they change their constitution and sit at the table to negotiate, while the Russians have the privilege of negotiating. They have the upper hand on it at this point, because they have captured the Ukrainian ground. So they will have to, Ukrainians would have to give up some of the ground, which will not be, of course, very popular with Ukraine. And many people understand that it will be only time to give Russians to regroup and attack Ukrainians again and again. That was in Chechnya that way, that was in Georgia that way, that has been out throughout the entire history of Russia and Soviet Union. So it is a very, very difficult situation. Hopefully, we all hope that if President Trump becomes a president, he kept saying and insisting on one thing. He kept saying, drill, baby, drill, which I interpret as though we're going to drill more oil and gas in our country on our federal lands, which will bring the prices of energy down to where they were when he was a president, until President Biden put the sanction that and put sanction on our Keystone pipeline, while lifting the sanctions of the northern pipeline of Russia and Germany. So the oil prices will drop, and the oil prices, of course, will dry out Russian coffers to finance the war, Iranian coffers to finance the war with Israel, and terror wars all around the world. So basically, that is my hope, and some of the people, that the only reasonable way to see how to stop this war is either continue with it until the Ukrainians will, and you just showed it, to bleed their way, bleed out and be conquered, or to bankrupt Russia, to bankrupt Putin's terror organization, which was, by the way, done by Margaret Thatcher and President Ronald Reagan. What happened? We bankrupt Soviet Union again by dropping oil prices, by negotiating with Saudi Arabia to drop the oil prices, where the Russian and or Soviets at the time could not maintain their war machine, and bankrupt them. So hopefully, maybe that will repeat itself again.
Gary, thank you so much for being with us on the Eastern Express. And it's always great to have someone who's actually served in NATO to give us the update. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.